Hello and welcome to the Racers Now Monday night show, where we're going to be taking, as we do most weeks, an anti-post look at what's to come this weekend. It's going to be Saturday, September the 20th. The Ayr Gold Cup meeting takes centre stage, and there is support from Newbury, who have the Reef Stakes, and also one that goes under the radar this weekend, I think, is the Cesarewitch Trial, which takes place at Newmarket. SD still remains to be the best tipster in the game, and last week on the YouTube selections, this was on Thursday, this included an 11-1 winner of the Portland Handicap, an 8-1 winner at Salisbury on Friday, a 33-1 anti-post place in the St. Ledger, and a 16-1 place in the Portland. So that's an 11-1 winner and a 16-1 place in the same race from SD. That leaves him just on YouTube selections every Thursday, most Mondays, just plus 44. Oh, no, that's the daily tips, SD. The YouTube is plus 65.13 points since April the 6th. What more do you want, I say? What more do you want?
Oh, yes, we got into some arguments last week, didn't we? I mean, I'm well aware. I mean, look, these people, we've had three losers today at Kent.
Yep.
I have to say, the last one, it was written like deja. They just got into a protracted pace battle. Terrible. So, yes, we're minus in September on the
Yeah.
daily tips. But if you're going to judge it just on September, I'll be quite honest with you. You shouldn't be bloody gambling. We're not on the best of runs on the dailies, but I'm
Yep.
sure our formal return in due course. We had a great set to last week. There was some idiot on Twitter, but he goes by the name of @Bryson Bonus. And he took umbrage when I told him he was talking out of his arse, because of course he monitors tipsters as part of his thing. But the problem is that he doesn't take into account any staking plans, or if you put a horse up each way. He sort of does it his own way. Well, what the bloody hell's the point when I'm telling you to put 1 point win on something, or half a point win, or half a point each way on something? But each to their own, and I do wish Ian, as his real name is, perfectly well. Just on staking, I think it is, people do ask this now and again, so I think it's wise to bring it up, isn't it?
Yep.
1 point is your average stake. So if your average stake is a tenner, 1 point is a tenner. And so half a point each way is a fiver each way, 0.375 points each way is 375 each way. So there we are. But it's good that people try and keep us honest, even if they are talking shit.
Yeah, I know the bar stewards do it, but there's not many that provide a full P&L like we do. So yeah, SD's daily tips every single day on Twitter and YouTube around 8 o'clock, 8:30. He's only gone one blank day out of choice, and one blank day due to a BHA reshuffle, not a strike. So yeah, every day since the 6th of April, plus 44 points. July, plus 18 points. August, plus 32 points. And September, to this point, and there's still half of September to go, we're on a minus 14.98. Anyway, SD, shall we be starting with the Ayr Gold Cup to take place this weekend? 201 entries in the Ayr Gold Cup at the moment, and that is why we have an Ayr Silver Cup and an Ayr Bronze Cup as well. So looking forward to more top-class racing in Scotland this weekend, SD. Where do you intend to be?
I will probably go to Wolverhampton Saturday.
Yeah,
Well, that air's just a bit raucous on
it is busy.
Saturday.
It is busy.
The good people of Glasgow do like the day out, and they're welcome to it. So I'd probably had a look at Newbury. Of course, Catterick used to race on this day. I always used to go to Catterick. I'd have had a look at Newbury, but they put a music act on after racing, and I'm disappointed in Newbury. There is a happy medium in terms of top class racing. Well, not top class, but decent racing and music. And if you want to see decent flat racing at Newbury from July onwards, I'm afraid you're stuffed unless you want to go to a concert. And if you want to take your kids to see excellent racing, I'm afraid you're stuffed because you have to pay for them to get in. So I don't particularly agree with Newbury's tactics.
Ayr Gold Cup then, SD. Northern
You?
Tick. No, I wouldn't know. Your SD's point is that the best racing, i.e., that takes place on a Saturday, shouldn't need a music act to help sell that day. But
yeah, no, if it's a shitty Saturday, there are tracks who do it, or a shitty Friday night card, or by all means put it on. I mean, Newmarket do it with the Newmarket nights, don't they? And
Friday, yeah.
on a Friday, and the quality of racing might not be all that. I don't think anybody has a real problem with that. But
Well, I think our friends, our local track Haydock, found a solution to such problems whereby if you left on the Saturday or Friday, whatever, when they had a music act, if you left before the music act, you got a free ticket to another fixture. I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I quite support that idea. On the Ayr Gold Cup SD, we've got Northern Ticker, who I think won at York on Ebor Day. Ain't Nobody, who was a bit of an eye catcher in the Sprint Cup, might not run. Two Tribes, who I think got his head in front, well deserved last time. So yeah, plenty
last time
of.
it was fourth.
Was it two? Who's in the same ownership? Run Boy Run was it that got his? Was it Run Boy Run? It's similar horse to Two Tribes, same ownership. So yeah, plenty of familiar names in there, SD, as you would expect. Again, if you declare on Thursday and get balloted out and end up in the Silver Cup, you're going to get your money back. So keep an eye on that one. Who do you fancy?
I think it's just important to. I was watching the clerk at Ayr with his weather update. Now, the weather forecast I've seen is a bit different to his. I think it's universally accepted it's going to piss down on Wednesday. We're currently soft, good to soft air. It doesn't drain that badly, but obviously, we're getting into the autumn and things happen a little bit slower. Apart from at Bath, where it went from heavy to good to soft on Saturday. So that was interesting. I think there's going to be more rain than the clerk thinks, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think it'll either be soft or good to soft ground. It isn't going to suit a fast ground sprinter. He's saying rain Wednesday. This was on his video. Dry. Apart from that, so look with that in mind. Look, I can see where people are coming from with Northern Ticker, but let's be realistic. 6 or 7-1. He isn't going to be that much different on the win only market on the exchange on the day. It's not the strongest field at all. I'll start with Cody Red. Cody Red, not Cody Red. I'm thinking of the stablemate. Strike Red even. He did remarkably well in the race last year. I think he was he was first out of a single figure stall, basically. He was the best one out of a single figure stall. I'll get the info. This iPad, it really is steam powered, I'm afraid. And it's sort of waltzing up and down. But he did the best that day. Needs a bit of cut in the ground. I don't think he's badly handicapped at all. And when I was going through this earlier, those with cut in the ground, were fairly seldom to be found. Now, if the handicapper was to have his way, Ain't Nobody would be £13 higher here. Is the Ayr Gold Cup what Ain't Nobody wants? I'm not quite sure it is. The Ayr Gold Cup is a race where you need hustle, bustle. You need to stay 6 furlongs.
Yep.
Yes, etc., etc. So I'm not quite sure this sort of métier is what the horse wants. So
he's the only horse in the anti-post market really that's drifted a little bit, particularly towards the top of the market. Might suggest that participation may be somewhat in doubt for.
No, but I think they may run. I think you almost have to run, don't you? If you're £13, if you're £13 well in, you might as well give it a go. I've absolutely no idea where this horse is run, but he's basically run well in a lot of decent sprints. I think he won the Coral Handicap at York last year on soft ground as well. And I just thought he was more interested. Look, I can't really put you off Northern Ticker, but short enough, isn't he? As I say, on the win only market on the day, he'll not be that much different. I thought the other one to back in the race. I think this horse is quite interesting. Now, we've talked about Kevin Ryan. Kevin Ryan loves to win this race, of course. He's won it a number of times. And I just think, they're saying it was good to soft last time at Ascot. It wasn't. It was good on times. This horse just wants a bit of give and isn't badly weighted. Now, okay, was 22nd in this last year. The ground was too fast. Has a particularly good record with give underfoot. Now, did show at Haydock earlier this year that the fire still burnt.
That's what I took him. I took him away from that Haydock race, backed him a couple of times after that, and he's not shown for me. So this is typical. If I leave him alone and you do put him up, I'm sure I've tipped him a couple of times. I definitely tipped him at Newcastle. I might have tipped him at York, and he's let me
Well,
down on both
I
occasions.
think the market's almost assumptive he doesn't run. I think he's about even money to run. And of course, if he doesn't run, he'll run in the Silver Cup and you'll get your money back. I think they will declare him because conditions are absolutely ideal. Last time wasn't that bad. And you look at some of the races he was winning last year. He's beaten horses like Terracing Bay at Goodwood, absolutely waltzed home that day. And I just, they put the pieces on at Haydock, didn't they? I just
Yeah,
wonder if they'll
and he
try
was on the
some
wrong
sort.
part of the track as well.
It was, yeah, but he ran well, and then
Hmm?
maybe combination of ground, um, and maybe the cheap pieces wearing off since haven't seen him to best effect. But as I say, his trainer, look, there are more obvious candidates, but his trainer has a good record in the race. He goes with a bit of give in the ground. I just hope he gets in, but if he don't, there's an upside there. They
Mm.
might just try a different form of headgear here. I don't know, a pair of blinkers or something. I thought
Yep.
at 66 he had a lot more plus points than his odds would suggest.
2 bets for SD. They'll be in the description of the video as usual. Probably, I'm guessing SD's favourite listed race of the whole year is the Damside Cup at Ayr on Saturday. I've got absolutely no idea what's going to run in this at the moment. 10 furlong listed race. Yeah, there's a 17 in there at the moment, maximum field of 14. No idea who's going to run. Damasus, Ancient Olympus, Ancient Wisdom, Certain Lad, King of Cities. We've seen that, plenty of that. Enfajar, King Gambit, Liberty Lane. I mean, yeah, a lot of familiar names in there, SD. I think Wafnan have got 4 runners in there at the moment, at least 3. What was you thinking at this stage? I'm guessing you are swerving it from an anti-post perspective, just
I
on the
think you've
basis
got to
of,
swerve it from an
yeah,
anti-post perspective. Al Merrick's been off a long time.
yeah,
The case for Ancient Wisdom's fairly straightforward, isn't it? I mean, I was of those at bigger prices. Certain Lad certainly goes with a bit of give,
yeah,
and he's not a great anti-post price. I wouldn't be surprised if Okeechobee bounced back one day. It was far
yeah.
too fast last time at Haydock, wasn't it?
Yeah, see, he was good. I quite liked him in his younger days. He's had a very, very disjointed career, Okeechobee. But yeah, I would like to see him come back to somewhere near his best, whatever that may be. It's Sandown 2024 April was when he won the Gordon Richards Stakes,
Oh,
and I thought,
if
oh,
he
hey, oh,
runs like
got a good
that,
run.
he'll bloody well win,
Oh,
won't he?
absolutely. But then it
20's
took
his
him.
big.
Yeah, it took him another year to come back, and yeah, he's been gelded and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, SD, we say this every week, and we have a bit of a laugh, but jocked up, which he probably should be, given that Colin Keane's the retained rider for Juddmonte, and this horse is owned by them. But yeah, it would be interesting if
Shit, I
turning up.
had another bet and I've not told you. I do this
Oh, a
every bloody
curveball.
week.
Go on then, serve me the curveball.
Well, I think the Firth of Clyde is certainly sorry. It's Hannon's in the Firth of Clyde. The iPad is what time's the Firth of Clyde?
It's 3 o'clock Saturday. That is the Phillies. Is it Phillies? Is it? Yeah, Phillies 2-year-old, Philly 2-year-old, Group 3 over 6 furlongs. I did when I skipped it past this earlier. I did think this is an SD type race. Again,
Well,
Colin Keane's
I think Orion's Belt should be absolutely clear favourite. I thought Orion's Belt ran a belting race when encountering giving the ground for the first time, dramatically improved for it at Salisbury on Friday. Very looked like he was holding Anthelia. Um,
Yep.
just got a little bit tired up the hill. This track will suit better. I think. I think that's the best form in the race, and I was surprised it was 7-1.
What's the stake there then, SD?
just have half a point on that.
Win.
Yes, because I think
Okay.
there'll probably be 11 runners or something. I just thought that was a clear form pick. So yes, I forgot to tell you about that. I do apologise, sir.
I think this is the horse that made a debut in a race named after Richard Hannon Senior. Went off 5-6, and I think we
Yes, I
backed it.
do remember
He
that.
didn't. He didn't bloody
I
win.
was I was on I
Um,
was on holiday.
hmm.
Yes, yes, didn't win. I mean, coming attractions probably short enough. And as I say, this horse is probably the form pick. What was your opinion on the Ayr Gold Cup?
ST. There's 211 runners entered. I
Oh,
had
you
a,
know, there's 211 runners
what did I
entered. You
say?
might as well just look at the top
Yes,
40.
yes. What did I say to you last week about handicaps? I mean,
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Well, it worked
you
well
know,
in group races for you with
yes,
Gustave, didn't
yes.
it?
And like I say, last week I had a real good go, both with selections on here and with my personal bets that largely mirrored what I put up on here, and it was a disaster. White Birch, pretty disastrous too far back. Sursane let me down, to be honest.
Look,
Um,
White Birch could have. I'm not being funny. Even if everything had gone right for White Birch, it wouldn't have beat Delacroix.
Oh no, I'm not saying it would. Absolutely, Delacroix. I'm now a believer. I went into last week questioning Delacroix. Is he that good? And the answer is yeah. It was a deep enough Irish champion. Maybe not the best of the decade, but it was deep enough as you would
It was
expect.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It
mean,
was. Yeah, it was.
the
It
the
was.
the the, the Belgian man
It was
gave
a
it a
good ride.
fantastic
Yeah,
ride, didn't
it
he?
was a good
He did.
ride.
He did really
He won
well.
well. The ground was quicker than advertised. I think that's safe to say. Yeah, he won well. Fought.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, won well. While we're in a reflective mood, SD. Yeah, on Island Gustad. Gustad, I don't tell any personal betting stories on here because SD's the man for that. But Gustad was the biggest bet I've had this year at 9-2, 4-1, 7-2, whatever I tipped it up on here, whatever of those three prices, 2 points win. Goes off a shade of odds on, goes 1-20 in running. Went in front, not clear, but went in front maybe a quarter of a length. And yeah, even I would admit a furlong out, I thought he would win. I thought he would go and outstay Zavaretti. But you've got to say, that one was a bit of a heartbreaker for me and someone else that you know or we know. You've got to say
Raider of the
Zavaretti.
Channel.
Yes, trader of the channel.
Loves it when I call him that.
Zavaretti and Eve Johnson. I said this a few weeks ago. Eve, she's fantastic. She is.
I think for per pound, yes. I think you're
Yeah.
getting slightly carried away. The horse I said to you reminds me a lot of Toot Searle, who her father trained. I mean, it's not going to win a Guinness, is it? If it wins a Guinness, good heavens.
No, I wouldn't have thought so personally. I do have a runner to keep an eye on this week, SD, and it is entered in the Ayr Gold Cup. He's got absolutely no chance of getting in. Monster Dreams. You may be aware of this one, SD, for Jim Goldie. Bit of an eye catcher at Haydock a couple of weeks ago. Over in a 7
Yes.
furlong handicap won by Atta Rangi.
Maybe you could put him up in the Bronze Cup.
Maybe on Thursday I will, but I do have my eye on Monster Dreams. I'm not taking full credit for this because there was a gentleman at work that flagged this to me earlier today, and I watched it back. Strange, like Paul Mulrennan coming down the centre of the track, didn't look to be in top gear. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Stays further than the 6, which is I think is a bonus, particularly on this ground. So yeah, I'll be looking out for Monster Dreams wherever he.
Just on about that, Big Jim had one yesterday at Musselburgh, and it was out for its life. And what happened was Paul didn't take the brave man's route. He thought, I've got to win on this. It was second in the third to last race. And by doing that manoeuvre, it didn't win. It was out for its life. I have no doubt it'll win before the end of the season, and the money will be down.
Yep.
Very shrewd operator, Big Jim. Just
Yes.
a
Yeah.
quick look at Newbury.
Yes, please. Yes.
I think it is worth commenting on Newbury.
Yep.
Even if they are charging egregious prices to get in, although not as much as Chester. The Mill Reef doesn't look a
Yeah.
vintage renewal, does it?
It's a
I'm
something
not
might need to
sure
change about
what
this Mill Reef, It's
well,
been a while. It's been a while. since they delivered a good one, in my opinion. But I mean,
Well,
sometimes
you like change, don't you? You've got a few hobbies in life. You call you call shitty things about changing the heritage of our sport. If it was up to you, you'd get rid of the Eclipse. You'd
yeah,
get
would
rid of
you?
the Mill Reef. Yeah, I mean it's
But
just
what's the so since 20? Let's call it 2017, SD. Can you, as the Oracle, without looking, can you name me any winner at all of the Mill Reef in the last 8 years?
oh, fucking hell.
Well, there you go. There you go.
What's
The main man, SD, who loves racing, breathes racing, bleeds racing, sleeps racing, can't tell me a winner of a Group Two race here in England for the last 8 years. If I extended it a little bit further, yeah, I've been selective because the two before that were Harry Angel and Ribchester. Fair play. But since then, we've had James Garfield, Kessar, Pierre Lapin, Alchemy, Wings of War, Sakia, Array, and last year Powerful Glory. All done absolutely bugger all for a variety of reasons. And I loved Sakia. I thought he was a really, really nice horse. I don't think he ever ran again. But yeah.
it's not Sakia's fault. Sakir. Everything's
I
Sakir's
like
fault,
it.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What a wanker he is. Anyway, get it back. Jesus Christ, that's me on community service.
Yeah.
It is worth looking at the Newbury card. I wasn't sure what the ground would be. Now they produced some very low going stick readings at Newbury. Historically, you would think Noah was there with his arc if you looked at them blindly. It's good soft in place at the moment. There's rain forecast Wednesday. It's predominantly dry after that, so I think we're going to see dry back. You might even end up on good ground. That's part of the reason I wanted to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'd have been very interested this time last year when we were a little bit younger and a little bit less grey. I did put Mustazid up, and I wanted to tip him
Just
today,
reading
but
that now. Just reading that. First run since Champions Day last year. 336 days. If he were to run this weekend, of course, won the Betfair Sprint Cup last year as well.
you're on the wrong horse. Mustazid I'm on about in the 10 furlong handicap.
Oh, sir, sorry, Montasib. Do forgive me.
Mustazid.
Oh, this you've tipped this before at Newbury. Wants soft
Yes,
ground.
I'm not tipping it. Yeah, he was 33 last year. We put him up. He went off full favourite and won.
Yeah, that was right.
It was borderline unraceable. He didn't want to race at Donny last weekend. He'll win a race before the end of the season in slop. It might not be sloppy enough for him, and I wasn't particularly. If it had been 33 again, I'd have put him up. Just on the off chance. The 5 furlong Group 3.
That's Montasib.
Yes, this is Montasib. It's a bit of an odd. I thought Montasib. You'd take him on first from back, wouldn't you? After a year off, and oof. And I thought there were a few in there of interest. Rumstar could run well. Ranger Bambi for your favourite trainer, Eve. Second
One of your
best
favourite
dressed woman
horses.
in racing behind Maureen Haggis.
Yeah.
I think that they are two, and the other one I thought was a price was Kurdos. I'll leave the race alone for now because I don't have a bloody clue what's going to run in it.
Yeah.
The Mill Reef itself, it's very tempting to a lay person to sort of sounds very theologian, doesn't it? Lay person.
Come on.
Very tempting for a lay person to say, "Oh well, Jim Boyle debut winner must be a fluke." I suspect Into the Sky. Doreen Tables bought in today.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
This is the bloody problem. The Racing Post's all over it. Doreen Table bought into it, and as a result, the price is shit. The clock doesn't lie, and the time was very, very good last time. And
Won at Newbury on debut.
both visually and on the clock, it seemed to back up that this is a very, very good animal. Trained by Jim Boyle. It'd be great, You look at the trainers in here: Charlie Appleby, Kevin Ryan, Hugo, David Simcock, Andrew Balding, Simon Crisford, Carl Burke, Jack Shannon. It'd just be great if somebody like Jim Boyle, who generally operates at a lower level, was to go and win this race, and he might well do.
I remember not too long ago a Jack Shannon horse, or it might have been his dad still in the license then. There was a horse won a 10 furlong fillies maiden at Newbury called Give Me Your Rosebuds or something like that. Can you remember that horse, SD?
Yes, I do remember that
Yeah,
horse.
and Doreen apparently bought into that, and it did absolutely bugger all since. I think it won a massive, silly price, 10 furlong maiden at Newbury by a street, like this one. Yeah, send me your rosebuds, give me your rosebuds, something like that. Anyway, we tangent off.
No, but I will say, and you are right, some horses, there was one of Johnston's I remember, which looked absolutely astronomical on the clock first time up, and did nothing since, and it ran in the Chesham. There was that one that
Won
absolutely
a red car.
busted,
George Bowie at
busted a,
red car.
yeah.
Yeah. What was it
There was
called?
you know, it was at Ripon. I was there.
Ripon. Sorry, Ripon.
Then it ran at Royal Ascot. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time was exceptional.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
some of these horses, first
I
time up,
remember
just
that.
don't necessarily follow it up. But this thing, it won by 7.5 lengths.
Yeah, I remember that one at Ripon. That was, yeah.
Under Kieran Schumacher, it's very fashionable to say, has never been better.
Yeah, SD, any comment on the St. Ledger? Scandinavia beat your horse was second, Rahib, was it? For
I
Roger?
know. Look at the start again, because Rahib was very upset in the stalls. I'm not saying the
Yeah,
result would have been different.
he delayed the race for a few seconds. He had his head to the
I
side.
thought he was going to be withdrawn, I have to say, because he was very upset in the stall.
Yeah, they dealt with it pretty quickly.
Scandinavia just grounded out on ground, which was officially soft, but was nearer to good to firm.
Correct.
He's going to be that cup horse, surely.
I know I put it up and he didn't win, but Stay True again. Travelled like maybe he's a travelling horse. I don't know, maybe, but he travelled really well again. I think he might be a weapon next year. I mean, I think that's obviously a quite vague thing to say, and I had my money on at the weekend. But Scandinavia deserve winning.
He ran like a 12 furlong horse, didn't he?
Maybe.
I thought at the 2-pole, bloody hell, hell's frozen over.
Yeah,
he's going to get another winner.
He was travelling really well. But yeah, I drew a blank this weekend. SD, shall we talk about two things? Kia Jarabchin.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kia Jarabchin. We need him in the game. He just dropped in casually in an interview on Racing TV in the lead up to the Flying Five, in which he won Arizona Blaze in his colours. Bucanero Forte also in his colours ran well in the race. He said something along the lines, I took horses out of Ralph Beckett because they gelded the wrong horse. And then I just sent Twitter off. The video got deleted by Racing TV, but the receipts were already out there. I think he's brilliant. He just causes trouble, spends a load of money, causes trouble. I'm all for it. I'm all for Kia.
I didn't used to like him, but I do quite like how he sort of challenges the establishment.
I like you've come round to it, SD. I like it.
I think... I tell you what, whoever's working for him, I don't think is particularly good. And I don't mean trainers, I just mean the people who buy the horses, because I'm not sure there's anybody, they don't seem to go on, do they?
Yeah, that's a fair comment, but I think they was buying horses last year where they spent 20 odd million. They was buying the pedigrees rather than track performance. But look, it's got to be said, obviously they had a Group 1 winner over the weekend in a sprint, not the most sexy of stallion makers. Although we're breeding for speed, apparently. It's got to be said that their performance on the track has definitely got no way near reflecting their spend off the track. That the one that they took, the Irish Oaks winner that they took away from Beckett, Caught You Looking or whatever it was called, that's done absolutely bugger up. I mean, it was virtually pulled up in the Coronation Stakes. So yeah, they've got to be disappointed generally about the results on the track, but it's a tough game to get into. They're going against such a superpower. Powers, should I say. Did you want to comment on Mr. David Maxwell, who announced his retirement? Always been a bit of a Marmite character on for racing
Look,
fans. Some love him, some hate him.
I will say this: first off, before I start going on, you cannot fault the man's enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But I have to say, is right. I mean, now you could say don't back them, but the problem was it always clouded races if Maxwell was on. I mean, you just lay a 5-on shot just because Maxwell was on it. I think now's the right time for him to go. I would just say, he clearly bought them to ride them. He's got that bloody good bumper horse. You'd be tempted, wouldn't you, to just keep hold of a couple?
So he did. What did he own them, train them, and ride them? Have I got that right? No,
He owned and rode them.
Right. So he's got a couple of nice horses. So what you're suggesting to do, that he keeps hold of them ownership wise?
Yeah, he obviously doesn't need the money, does he? And he's got that very nice bumper horse with Gary Moore. I mean, my understanding is he'll probably sell.
Oh, fair enough. Well, SD, as a man that's got a leg in a couple of horses, you could be a buyer, maybe. Maybe so. Right, you're going to have to mark off a couple of bingo. Go on.
No, I was just going to say a couple of things. I'm not going to Wolverhampton tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you was.
Well, exactly. But then I looked at it earlier on. It's a
9-race extravaganza.
I rang with friend of the channel last night on the way back from Musselburgh. We had a lovely chat.
I bet you did.
And yeah, he's not going either. And the way I put it at this time of year, I'll not say it word for word, but it's a bit like a sex change transition, and there's bits still there because you've got the horses from the summer. These are moderate horses. You've got the horses who are getting ready for the winter, and they sort of clash, and all sorts happens. And yeah, it would be 5 13-runner Class 6 handicaps. If there were 8 to 9 in them, I'd have gone. But I concluded I wouldn't make it pay. So read into that what you will. Friend of the channel will be at Uttoxeter tomorrow, and he maybe we're having a little soiree on Friday, sir.
Oh, where?
Oh, we don't know yet.
Oh, okay, fair enough. The things you do for that man. Okay,
me, friend of the channel, Louis, and Josh, and Josh is in Rome. Josh is in Rome. Enjoying the Vatican
Colosseum.
and things like that.
Colosseum, yeah, great.
The Colosseum. Was there something else?
We're meandering down some avenues here, SD.
There was one last thing, right? Don't laugh. It was a student there yesterday at Musselburgh.
Musselburgh, yes, I saw you chatting up the young people.
No, I was just trying to engage with the crowd. And if you know what, they did it quite well. There was a student area down the track. The students could roam if they wanted, but there's plenty of space for normal punters. It worked very well, and Musselburgh is a very well-run track. I have no complaints.
Okay, marvellous. Well done. Well, on that positive note, SD, and we only...
Positive, we'll be back Thursday, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Thursday, and maybe you can look less like a burglar. I mean, the problem is you're nearly 40. You're going round in a hoodie and a baseball cap. You've got those bloody headphones in again, thinking you're Jimmy Young.
Yeah. As I said last week, SD only owns one type of clothes, and as you see, what is SD's wearing now? He gets up in the morning, puts that on. He doesn't put anything else on, even when he gets home from work, and he wears the same on a Saturday and Sunday as well when he goes racing. So there's only one outfit for SD. There's no workwear or loungewear. Yes, very easy. Yes. Okay.
Very easy.
Fashion tips available next week on Racers Now. Thank you.
Charles,